Violet Hunter, you know, the girl with the babysitting case that Sherlock's been obsessed with for, like, forever, is coming over today.
This is worrying.
But you've wanted to hear from her for weeks.
Yes, but I was hoping that when I did hear from her, it would be only for her to tell me all was well.
It's a babysitting job. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
Ugh.
Maybe it is one of the curses of my mind that I must look at everything in reference to my special subject. You think babysitting job. I think crime.
What crime could possibly be happening here?
Well, I can think of 7 possibilities.
Thanks for seeing me again, Sherlock.
Tell us what has happened.
Okay, well, I have to say, first, Mr. and Mrs. Russell haven't actually treated me badly. And I don't think Mrs. Russell is crazy more like I first thought, which I guess never really made sense anyway.
It was a perfectly valid conjecture. What can you tell me about the family?
Well, they've been married for 7 years, and Mrs. Russell has a kid, Alice, from her first marriage, but she left to Philadelphia or something. And Mrs. Russell herself just seems sad all the time. I don't see her often, but this one time I walked in and she was crying, but I probably shouldn't tell you about that.
It's alright. Every detail could be important, even if it doesn't seem relevant to you.
So for the most part, me and Cooper just stay in one part of the house, and I have to wear this really ugly dress. Seriously, it's awful. And they did actually end up getting me contacts instead of glasses. But anyway, so Cooper was napping one day, and I was on my laptop, and Mr. Russell came in and he started telling us these jokes because he needed a break from work. And he was hilarious. Seriously, I could not stop laughing. But then he just left. But anyway, he came back the next day, and he sat me in a specific spot of the room and gave me a book to read to Cooper. But then, when I was in the middle of a sentence, he interrupted me and told me to leave.
He sounds a little bit like a creep.
I know, but that's not even the big thing I noticed. So I always noticed that he faced me away from the window. So one day when he came in to talk to me, I took out my phone and pretended to be texting, and I turned on my camera and put it on selfie mode, and that's when I saw her. A woman standing in the middle of the road.
A woman?
Yeah, but she was definitely staring through the window, and Cooper pointed her out, and then so Mr. Russell asked me if she was my friend, and I said no, and so he told me to wave her away, and I did, and I never saw from her again.
That is strange.
I know, but that's not everything. Sorry, I kind of keep telling it out of order. So I'm only really allowed in one room, but I've kind of walked around the whole house anyway, and there's always this door that's always locked, and Mr. Russell walked out of it one day, and he looked angry, really angry, and he told me never to go in there. So of course I was immediately interested, because if someone tells you not to go in some place, you're going to want to go. So when I left that night, I looked at the outside of the house, and all the windows on that side were completely blacked out.
Did you manage to get inside?
Almost. It was on a Friday, and Mr. Russell had to leave, and Cooper was asleep. So I went to the door that was locked, and I looked for the spare key on top of the frame, and I unlocked it, and there was another locked door at the end of the hallway, and I heard some footsteps and then a shadow pass in front of the light, and I got so freaked out that I ran out the front door and right into Mr. Russell. He looked calm, but I could tell he was really angry, and he told me never to go in there again. So I just agreed, but then I decided to text you about it this morning.
Is there a day when you know Mr. and Mrs. Russell and their child will not be home?
Yeah, actually, the 3 of them go for a walk every day when Cooper comes home from school and before Mrs. Russell has to leave for work, at about 4 o'clock.
Did Mr. Russell remove the spare key from above the door?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think so.
Do you have a key to the house?
Yes.
Miss Hunter, you have been very brave. You've been exceptional, and I hope you don't mind me asking for you to be exceptional for just a little while longer.
I can do that.
Excellent. Watson and I will meet you at the Russells tonight at 4 o'clock. Then we will look into this more thoroughly. Of course, there's only one explanation. You have been brought in to impersonate someone, and that someone is being kept in the locked room. And I have no doubt that that someone is Mrs. Russell's daughter, Alice.
Seriously?
Seriously. You were no doubt chosen because you resemble her in some capacity. The woman in the road is probably some worried friend that they had you shoo away.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. We have to go now. We have to go free her now.
Patience. We will be there at 4 o'clock, and then we will help Alice.